Welcome friends to another lecture of the series of lectures on communication, group discussion, interview preparation and personality development. I am Ratnaba Saha and I'll be your host and host for these sessions. Today we are going to tackle the challenges of writing assessment test. It is also more commonly known as essay writing. First, let's see where would it help us. It will help us in MBA selection process, IIM selection second round, essay writing in Xavier aptitude test, in these areas. It will also help us if someone is targeting PSU recruitment process, public sector unit recruitment process. Analyzing an argument and analyzing an issue in GRE, essays in IELTS, International English Language Testing System, and many other entrance forums where your analytical and argumentative capabilities need to be checked. So, when we look at writing assessment test, as usual, we will start with a FAQ model. We will look at the most frequently asked questions that my students ask me and take it from there. The first question is, so you said in verbal communication that we should not be too worried about mistakes, especially grammatical. But when it comes to written, I do not think that we can take mistakes so lightly. To them I answer, you see, as in verbal communication, the mistakes you commit during your practice sessions makes you a better candidate for the performance day. Likewise, in written communication, you need to do your mistakes in practice sessions, so that when you go for the real thing, you give a better performance on the performance day. Remember, when I ask you not to worry about mistakes, both verbal and written, I mean do not stop due to mistakes. Just go on performing and then you will become good. So in that way, the same logic applies to both verbal and written communication. In both cases, you need to practice and practice despite mistakes, and in both cases our target is to perform well on the day of recruitment, selection or whatever step we are going for. The second question is, what if the write-up is not very effective? Will we get the opportunity to explain it later? You see, normally your written exercise is pulled out during your interviews. So yes, you normally get an opportunity to explain yourself, but it is better to be clear in your written form, because that way it will be easier to explain to, isn't it? Now the third query, how much time will we get to write an essay? Well, normally 20 minutes to 30 minutes, but let me caution you, do not be too much preoccupied with time. More important is your ability to use a proper structured form where you give relevant content so that you're able to drive home your arguments effectively. Now, one of the most important query, what structure do we use for writing activities? And how do we build content effectively, because there is so less time limit is involved? See, the most effective and time-tested format is the IBC standard format. I stands for introduction, B stands for body, and C stands for conclusion. Now, there is no particular structure which needs to be employed in introduction and conclusion, right? But they would normally be one paragraph each normally, and at the start and at the end respectively. Introduction at the start, conclusion at the end. Structuring needs to be done in the body segment though. You see, there are two classes of essay that normally you will come across: descriptive essays and case studies essays. Now, as I have already discussed in my group discussion video, that case study, GD and essay will be dealt in detail in another video. We will discuss here about descriptive essays. Descriptive essays. All kinds of essays such as analytical, argumentative, expository, abstract, etc. are included in this category. You may use the I Get Helps model to get data on the topics. Remember worked of video 2? You have already seen it, I suppose. That iGetHelps model at work in the worked video, and that too in a lesser time. Now in essays you will get more time. Ideally, in a 30 minutes time, you should jot down mentally the iGetHelps of the essay in the first 5 minutes. Your structure is ready now. You just need to fill in the blanks and write the body. Now, while actual writing, to increase the effectiveness of the points, you can use PrEP and ERP model as already discussed. So essentially, you will do the same things that Vad and Vivad did in video 5. But in this case, you have the advantage of more time. Now let's see, what did we discuss today till now? Essay format, IBC, introduction, body, conclusion. Body structure, iGetHelps, international, geography, environment, technology, history, economic, legal, political and social. Writing model, PrEP, PREP, point, reason, example, point, or ERP, example, reason, point, model. Now friends, it is Baba Ranchorda's time. Yes friends, it is demo time. Let's see a demo essay which I will compose in front of you now so that you have an idea how to execute IBC along with iGetHelps, PrEP or ERP. But before I give a demo, remember this. You should never copy from others' essay. The words and logic should always be your own. That way, there will not only be genuineness to the essay, but convenience in your interviews too while you are explaining your essay. So only use this demo as a direction setter. Do not use it to copy your essay. Let's start with the demo. Let me take a topic which is familiar. Remember the topic that we used to have a demo of iGetHelps, PrEP and ERP in video 2? It was, yes, smartphones have more negative than positive effects for the children in the country. Now to save time, we will take the results of iGetHelps directly from our exercise of video 2 content development video. The Warrior's Way, that was the name of the video. Content development, the Warrior's Way. To know the how-to part of it, I will suggest you watch that video. Now let's look at the iGetHelps results that we found out that day for this topic. I for international. Children are influenced by smartphone era, which brings diverse background children together, but at the same time confuses the child, right? G for geography was blank. We did not find any point there. E for environment. Harmful effects of radiation for children's developing organs were one of the negative sides that we saw. T for technology. Here we saw that the good effects are kids become technologically more capable and their concentration improves over the period of time. But at the same time, games, aggression and violence seeps into them. Also, children get access to adult content very easily. So these were the negatives. In H for history, we had no content. Then E for economics. On one side, smartphones bring a lot of education opportunity with them. Whereas at the same time, economic activity related to outdoor sports are getting hampered. Then there was L for legal. There we had no relevant content. P for politics. Connectivity and smartphones create more political awareness in teenagers. Then the last one was S for social. Children get more capable in virtual social networking skills. But at the same time, they deteriorate in their real life networking skills. Now this was the iGetHelps of that topic. Now we have listed down the data on which we can write the essay. This being a descriptive essay, we will use a writing format of PrEP and ERP, whichever is convenient whenever. Firstly, I'll start with the introduction of IBC. Introduction. It is said that people of the age always think that their time to be the most revolutionary, but even by the most conservative terms, the change the world witnessed in the 2 decades spanning 1990 to 2010 hardly has any parallel in human history. Human history is rife with instances of transformation of every nature. Only in the last millennium we see printing press, electricity, atomic energy, French Revolution, world wars and many others as defining moments for the world. But none of them could affect so many in such a little time. What is it? It is undoubtedly the telecommunication revolution, ushered by the cell phone age and still scaling heights after heights with the smartphone age. Now that was introduction. Take some time and read the introduction carefully. You will notice that how the introduction is defining the topic and setting a background for the topic. Now, if you have read it, I'll start with the body. I'll divide the body in different paragraphs. Let's look at the first paragraph of the body. So how do we see it? Is it a boon or a bane for the children of this generation? Undoubtedly, the positive role that the telecommunication revolution has played in our society cannot be undermined. But we cannot generalize those same effects for children too. Lots of people argue that children from developing world will lag behind those of the developed world if they do not get used to smartphone technology. Now, but the real question is whether even in developed world, smartphones should be provided to children early in their childhood. Take some time. This was the second paragraph of our essay and this was the first paragraph of our body. If you observe carefully, you will find that the nature of the first part of the body was like setting up the direction for the discussion of the topic. Now, we will start with the third para of the essay and second part of the body. Let's see. Firstly, children have very impressionable minds. They will not be able to comprehend the vast differences that exist in different parts of the world, socially, economically and culturally, and thereby they would become more confused and prejudiced. Secondly, the negative effects of radiation emitting from cell phones have been conclusively researched and proven. So it will be unfair to expose the children of our generation knowingly to harmful radiation. Thirdly, the traditional schooling system, sports, etc. created a peer group for the child. But today, he develops virtual social networking skills, but his ability to make real-life network remains underdeveloped, leading to an incomplete and ineffective personality. Now take some time again and read this para carefully. This part of the body specifically deals with the negative effects of the smartphones. Now the last part of the body. All the above negatives notwithstanding, there are some positives for the children too. One of them is education. Internet-based learning has created exceptional opportunity for students belonging to underprivileged segments to learn at par with their more privileged counterparts. And smartphone, being the most affordable, portable, internet running device, has given rise to an innovative segment of app-based learning software. But at the same time, economic activity related to outdoor sports are getting hampered because of low interest in traditional sports segment, which is also hampering the child's physical well-being. Second advantage is children becoming technology oriented and games making them improve qualities like patience, concentration, etc. But on the other hand, the violence and aggression of games that are readily available in the smartphones through internet makes kids emotionally unstable. Lack of parental control over phone's internet also makes children vulnerable to pornographic content on internet. This part of the body deals with the positives associated with the smartphones. Now the conclusion part. So taken in totality, though positives of smartphones in our society cannot be discounted, but when it comes to children, caution needs to be practiced. Ensuring child's limited access to smartphone, controlled usage of internet will go a long way to create physically and mentally strong youth from these children. Again, in the last paragraph, you can see the parallel with the conclusion of the GD. A very small summary followed by the assertion that you want to drive. Now let's see what did I do while writing the essay. First, introduction. Set up the background and define the topic, right? That was introduction. Second, body. It was divided into 3 parts. First part dealt with direction setting, what needs to be discussed. The second part dealt with the negatives of the smartphones in this age. And the third part of the body dealt with the positives associated with the smartphones. Then was the conclusion. A short summary showing how negatives outnumber the positives, hence driving towards a closing opinion in the favor of the topic. Now the moment I give a demo of this activity, I get a query which I will share with you. My students ask me, "Sir, though you said that you will use prep and ERP structure for detailed essays, but you used it partially in your own essay. So why is it?" The reason for not doing it is as simple as that I am lethargic. Hindi में जिसको कहते हैं आलसी. Don't believe it? Let me explain. What was my purpose? To write an essay which is easy to read, easy to understand, related to the topic and within the time limit. These 4 were my purpose. So did I do this? Let us see. I used the IBC structure. The first paragraph was introduction and the last was conclusion. The middle 3 were parts of the body. Now, why did I divide the body into 3 paras? This made the essay easy to read. One para would have been boring as well as ineffective. Now, for easy to understand part, we normally use writing formats as discussed in this case. It was prep. It includes point, reason, example and summarizing with the point again. Now, what did you find missing in the essay? Yes, you guessed it correct. I did not give examples for all my arguments. And I did not. Now, let me tell you why. This is the reason for omitting examples. Firstly, in the given time limit, I only used those things which came to my mind first. Simple. So, for those issues where example was there, I used it. And for those where example was not there, I did not use it. Secondly, if I had been given some more time, I might have come up with some more examples. But what purpose would it have served? I was already at the higher limit of my words, and you might be at the higher limit of your time too. Now here is where my alsiness or lethargy kicks in. What is alsiness? You see, alsiness or lethargy is not to leave a job which is necessary, but not to do a job if it is not necessary at that point of time. So a necessity was to have easy to understand lines. Through my language, structure and points, the purpose was already solved. So even if we could not remember some examples and put them, it will not matter. Remember, all the rules we discuss are to make our life easier in that particular activity. But if your life becomes easier and your purpose gets solved by following these rules partially, go ahead and do it. You should never do it fully just to do it. That is smart work. Now let's summarize today's lesson. How to write an effective essay. First step is effective content building. For this, we need to read the topic and do a I get helps on the topic to generate relevant content in a very short period of time. Second step is effective writing. For this, we saw how to use the IBC structure: introduction, body and conclusion, along with prep and ERP encapsulation model to derive the maximum benefit. And last but not the least, BLC, so that you can become a smart worker. So friends, hope you like this video. If you want to know more about writing assessment test and essays, you can refer to my book. The link of the same is being shown on the screen now. The GDPI handbook will give you a step-by-step procedure for building your skills in not only essay writing but in the whole area of group discussion and personal interview. So I'll end my session today. See you in my next session where we'll talk about case study writing and GDs. Till then, goodbye and see you soon. Thank you.